Classical music is referred to as Sangita Shastra or Sangita Vidya. It is a science, it's a knowledge center, and a lot of research has gone into this. This research involves collection of material, organization of all that has been collected, and arrangement of all this so that we have a better understanding of the art. Therefore, research in music has to have a totally different approach, as much of this is in the area of performance. The very name Academy suggests that we are committed to both research and study of the art. At the same time, this research is complementary to what is the mainstay for Music Academy, which is music performance. The Journal of the Music Academy Madras 1930 clearly speaks about the origin and objectives of the Academy, which mentions the following points and highlights the agenda of research, study and education of Carnatic music. This was a time when there was great interest in Carnatic classical music. The situation required a reconciliation between cleavages in theory and practice. With this in view, the Academy is committed to holding conferences and seminars. The coming together of our scholars, musicians and scholarly musicians laid the foundation for strong research. They had to be forward-thinking, open-minded and at the same time rooted in our tradition. Fortunately, this was just about 3 generations away from the Trinity, about 2 generations away from royal courts that supported musicians as well as documentation of music, and a generation of people, musicians who were engulfed in a patriotic fervor to revive their arts and take it forward. On the one hand, we had traditional scholars like Subramanya Shastri and P.S. Sundaramayyar. On the other hand, we had scholarly musicians like Mudikondan Venkataramayar, who really did an in-depth study of books. In fact, it's interesting to see that many of the texts had his handwritten notes on the side. There were music experts from the lineage of the Trinity. Shyama Shastri was the grandson of Shyama Shastri, and Ambi Dikshitar was the grandnephew of Muthuswami Dikshitar. It's very interesting that they bear the same name as their forefathers. Among the Western educated scholars was T.L. Venkataramayar as well as C.S. Iyer. To give you an idea of how some of these music studies have been taken up by the Academy, we had Sangita Sudha, a work where the manuscript was in the Saraswati Mahal Library. Initially, parts of the text was published between 1930 and 39 in the Journal of the Music Academy. Subsequently, since they took up this work for publication, they collated it with the manuscript available at the Adayar Library, added corrections, variant readings, index of authorities cited, and detailed table of contents. This clearly showed their commitment to research. In 1962, the Music Academy Madras organized a unique symposium on music in relation to publication and criticism. A lot of papers were presented during this symposium, which included aspects like writing and production of music books, problem of notation, criticism and review, collection of material, and biographical writings. Contributors were people like G.N.B., Vidya Shankar, T. Vishwanathan, Dr. S. Ramanathan and K. Chandrasekharan. These papers were subsequently brought out as a book. The Music Academy believes in collaboration of music thinkers, of musicians, and a reconciliation of theory and practice. A great many musicians, scholars work together, taking research forward. In 1982, the Raghavan Research Center was set up at the Music Academy Madras. Dr. Raghavan was a renowned Sanskrit scholar. He was deeply interested in Carnatic music and he was a very great researcher. He was able to bring together like-minded people, collect manuscripts, bring out books on notation, and do extensive work on research. He was truly able to bring international recognition to the work that was done at the Music Academy Madras. Between 2012 and 2020, the Music Academy Research Center had 8 students pursuing their research, and I'm very proud to say that they all received their PhD. The Music Academy had affiliated with the Tumkur University for this research program.
I'm very grateful to my guru for having sowed the seeds of research and instilling in me a quest for in-depth knowledge of the subject. My experience as a research scholar at the Academy Research Center has been an enriching one. I benefited immensely not only from my own guide, Dr. Ritarajan, but the support and attention given by all the other guides throughout the research program, which is something I will always cherish. The opportunity to use the Academy Library, the ready access to the priceless repository of music at the digital archives, the Academy classes on methodology, the December conference sessions, all aided me well in my research efforts.
Research methodology evolves over a period of time, and for music, which is predominantly an oral tradition, there is an area known as oral history or study of orality. Just as we have preserved wildlife, the endangered species, and we create habitat for them, so also we need to create an ecosystem under which this beautiful oral tradition that we have in our music can be preserved.
The Oral History Archive project focuses on understanding and documenting the knowledge and the rich experience of senior musicians and scholars of today. We have Professor Shiv Vishwanathan here. He is an interdisciplinary thinker and prolific writer whose roots trace back to music and music academy with his grandfather Sri C.S. Iyer and aunt Dr. Vidya Shankar. Professor Shiv is a member of the experts panel of our Music Academy Research Center. His ideas on orality and oral history have been a great inspiration for our project in the Research Center.
I think Music Academy's work on orality is one of the most fascinating experiments in history in recent times. I think one has to understand that it's not just a study of music, it's an attempt to reinterpret culture and civilization. Most historians will talk about print. Print defines both your technological and cultural identity, but we are in many ways an oral civilization. And orality has to be theorized, has to be understood, and at three levels. Orality is a certain kind of memory. Orality is a certain kind of creativity, and orality is a mode of cognition. It's an epistemology. And in that sense, this project is outstanding, because to a certain extent, it is not insular, it's not provincial. It takes a cosmopolitan problem today. What is the relation between orality, print and digitality, and what are its implications for culture, becomes not just a theory of history, but an attempt to theorize about communication and democracy. It will go much further than anything Milman Parry or McLuhan did in this context.
For us in the Music Academy Research Center, it has been a great experience to interact with these stalwart, legendary artists. B. Krishnamurti sir, who reverentially reminiscences the words of his gurus, he shares with us about how he trained in both the Gurukula system of learning as well as the college or the institutional system of learning. Pallavi is B. Krishnamurti sir's forte. He renders difficult Pallavis like the Shatkala Pallavi with great ease.
Ragam Tanam Pallavi rendition for Sir was not just about singing the structure of the Pallavi and the Trikalam correctly. It comprised a detailed Alapana, a Tanam and a comprehensive Niraval and Kalpanaswara passage. Every class he used to make us sing multiple rounds of Niraval and keep reiterating the fact that Niraval formed one of the most important facets of Ragam Tanam Pallavi rendition.
B. Krishnamurti sir, an excellent tunesmith, speaks about the importance of understanding the subtlety of the sound that differentiates the same swara or phrase through different ragas.
ஸ்வரஸ்தானத்தில் ஒவ்வொரு ராகத்துக்கும் ஒரு விதமான ஸ்வரஸ்தானம் இருக்குது. சுத்தமாக சுத்தமாக இருக்காது, சுத்தமாக இருக்காது. அது கூட குறைச்சலாக இருக்கும். அந்த ராகத்தை ஷேப்பை பொறுத்து, ரூபத்தை பொறுத்து இருக்கு. அதுக்கு தான் நான் பேர் வச்சேன் ஸ்வரஸ்தான ஸ்ருதி பரிணாமம். பண்ணோம் பூர்த்தி எனக்கு நாம எதுவும் அந்த மாதிரி ஆகும்.
Srimati Vedavalli or Vedavalli Amma, as she is fondly addressed by our students, combines in herself the training and knowledge that is the pride of yesteryear musicians. With her amazing personality, she harmonizes the changes and developments in musical thought and performance through time, and beautifully adapts to these changes with a firm belief in the enduring and consistent principles that she stands for.
எங்கள் குருநாதரே 4 ஸ்ருதி பாடுவார். அவர் கட்டை சொல்லக்கூடாதுன்னு சொல்லுவார். இந்த 4 கட்டை 3 கட்டை 2.5 கட்டை இதெல்லாம் இது கட்டையும் இதெல்லாம் இது என்னத்துக்கு அப்படின்னு கேட்பார். இல்லை அப்படி தான் எல்லோரும் சொல்கிறா அப்படின்னா அதுக்கு அவர் ரொம்ப அழகாக சொன்னார். இது இந்த ஹார்மோனியம் வந்ததோ இல்லையோ அந்த கருப்பு கட்டை வெள்ளைக்கட்டை அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவா அதை பார்த்து. அதனால் அது அதில் என்ன வைக்கிறாளோ அது அந்த வெள்ளைக்கட்டைனால வைக்கிறதுக்காக 4 கட்டை ஸ்ருதின்னுவா, 5 கட்டை ஸ்ருதின்னுவா, 4.5 கட்டை ஸ்ருதின்னா கருப்புக்கு போகும். அதுக்காக வந்தது தான் இந்த கட்டையாவது ஸ்ருதி தான் சொல்லுவா அந்த காலத்துலேன்னு சொல்லுவார் அவர்.
Srimati Meenakshi is the daughter of Sri Subbarama Iyer, the elder of the renowned Veena Karakudi brothers. At 97 years, her age when we did this interview of hers, it is amazing to see how much of passion she has for music, veena and teaching. Her great grand niece Shweta Balasubramaniam was also present in the interview that we did of Srimati Meenakshi.
She shared a lot of anecdotes, a lot of experiences that she had with her father, Karakudi Veena Subbarama Iyer.
As part of this oral history archive project, we plan to interview many more musicians who are important contributors to the knowledge and cultural processes that help and have continued to shape this musical ecosystem.
The Music Academy Research Center is now functioning with renewed vigor and moving forward at an accelerated pace. Namaskaram and thank you.